You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. Over the weekend, of course, was the Heisman. The Heisman, of course, is sort of a really classy elite of who's who of college football over the last as many years as I can remember. It's been around before I was born. They were handing out Heisman trophies. A lot of elite players in there in college football history. And Fernando Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback. I mean, look, they're just undefeated. He's just going to be the number one overall pick in the NFL draft. He won the Heisman. Now, if you don't think he should have won it, okay, that's fine. But the runner-up was Diego Pavia, and a lot of people, of course, for months and months, has been questioning the behavior of Diego Pavia. Kind of thug-like, right? And at times talking about class, a lack of class. Well, he came out over the weekend, said F Indiana, F the Heisman voters. And, of course, we're talking about a guy that's going to be eligible for the National Football League draft. Now, I don't care if you can't stand Shedeur Sanders. This is a much worse look than anything Shedeur did. Coming out saying F Heisman voters, blah, 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 right before the draft. And I got to tell you, a couple of people have responded to this. There's been a lot of response, but a couple of people have responded. One of them is Cam Newton. Well, he won a Heisman in 2010. Now, I think a lot of people argue that Cam should be in the Hall of Fame in the NFL. Personally, I would stop short of that. I think he's a Hall of very good guy, right? But no doubt, one of the greatest college quarterbacks, college players we've ever seen. Cam Newton, who's very flamboyant, very outspoken, himself has come out and has some words for Pavia's behavior from over the weekend, as well as Pat McAfee. And I got to tell you, Pat McAfee went scorched earth on Diego Pavia. No holds barred. And McAfee's the type that really tries to curve around saying too much bad about anybody. You've really done something to get Pat McAfee this riled up. And Diego Pavia is now coming out and saying which NFL franchise he wants to play for. Well, I mean, look, what is it? The Saskatchewan Rough Riders? At this point, you may be staring at the CFL. Let's do Cam Newton first. Lord knows, Cam Newton is a little strange in the fact that about every 20th take, Cam Newton's completely lucid and actually drops a good take. He dropped a good one here about Diego.
Think about these type of actions. There's a quote that says, or maybe it's a rap lyric that says, do not do anything that you're going to end up apologizing for. Diego, bro, that was classless, that was senseless, and to be in the position that you're in, bro, going to the next level, or having aspirations to go into the NFL draft, to not think that this will be brought up in this type of situation is terrible. I don't even blame Diego. I blame the supporting cat. I blame the brother. I blame the homeboy. I blame the dad. I blame the mom. I blame the girlfriend. Who thought it was a good idea, not only for him to post that, but also to post when you was in a club? Like, you got so many guys around you that's living in the moment, and nobody thought to say, like, hey, bro, nah, that ain't a good look. Yeah, we lost, but we're gonna lose in grace. I mean, we could talk amongst ourselves. Everything is not supposed to be publicized or posted. And those type of issues is what the younger generation needs to understand. It's like, bro, you don't get no cool points for saying that, especially not saying it to somebody's face. Like to have Twitter fingers or to have, these type of insinuations behind posts. Like, bro, that's not P. That's not cool. You don't handle business like that accordingly, especially if you want to be a potential franchise quarterback. That is not that type of behavior that's going to get you far, Diego, respect.
Well, okay, I'm good. Not hearing from Stephen A. But he's right. Was it Herm Edwards that said, don't hit send? Don't hit. I mean, nobody thought, hey, maybe we ought to not post a video of you flipping off the Heisman and the digital billboard thing and all that. By the way, he came out and issued this apology that's just completely benign. That's limp. Nobody cares now about your apology. People are already they've watched your actions now, and people are like, I've seen enough. Speaking on the Pat McAfee show, the ESPN pundit, talking about Pat McAfee, said Pavia experienced one of the most dramatic public perception shifts he's seen in recent memory after finishing as the Heisman runner-up for 2025. I don't know. A lot of people I know already didn't like the cat. Quote, I don't think I've seen anybody have a bigger heel turn in one weekend than Diego Pavia. Anybody who's flashy and talks a lot of shit is going to be hated by a group of people regardless. But then this weekend, with how it all went, I think a lot of people kind of turned on Diego Pavia. McAfee noted that some fans have already begun applying the same draft-related skepticism to Pavia that surrounded Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. However, he made it clear they couldn't be more different as prospects on the field. Quote, a lot of people are saying, let's make sure we keep the same energy we had for Shedeur Sanders in the draft that we have for Diego Pavia, McAfee added. Let me stop right there. Shedeur is light years a better quarterback prospect than Diego Pavia. And Shedeur fell to the 5th round. He certainly didn't handle. I've well chronicled how much Shedeur and Dion effed up the pre-draft process. From the combine on, nothing but bleeping it up. Just bleeping it up. Bleeping shit up. I don't think anybody's really talking about Diego Pavia being in the NFL, period. Whoa! Let me read. That's a quote from McAfee. I don't think anybody's really talking about Diego Pavia being in the NFL. McAfee questioned whether the Vanderbilt realistically fits at the next level, citing concerns about his size and positional projection. Quote, maybe they move him out to slot wide receiver or something like that. He's a hell of a ball player. He's a dog. He's rubbed people the wrong way. Man. McAfee said, nah, you ain't an NFL quarterback, bro. We'll put you out at slot wideout. I mean, look, and here's maybe Pavia's. Well, we just talked about Shedeur. Maybe the biggest thing that's going to hold Pavia down is the fact that dude is built like Dylan Gabriel. Well, we just watched Dylan Gabriel, who, by the way, is a great kid. Model citizen, polite, blah, 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 blah. Checks all the intangible boxes. Good processor, too, by the way. I know Shedeur fans don't like to hear that. Great processor. The problem? Can't see around the lineman. Too short. Arm's not strong enough. We can go on from there. The NFL has greatly cooled off on the midget quarterback. Here we are. Kyler Murray, probably not going to be with the Cardinals anymore. Russell Wilson, he's crashed and burned. Now, he had a good run, but the body started breaking down. I mean, he may have literally just put himself in the UFL. If he wants to stay a quarterback, I mean, he's not big enough to make, I think if you gave Tim Tebow truth serum, now he would say, I should have switched to tight end. And he tried to come back as a tight end, almost made the team with the Jags after being out of the league forever. I think if he made that switch right away or went to fullback and decided to be the Taysom Hill guy, I think Tebow would have just been, Tebow's career probably would have just ended after 10 or 12 years. Provided his body could hold up. Tebow was built like a rock. This was a terrible look for this dude. It was. I mean, do you not think about NFL general managers, owners, coaches. I did laugh yesterday because I said the most Jimmy Haslam thing of all would be for him to draft this dude. Oh, by the way, he did say where he wanted to go play. Although it's unclear where Pavia will end up in the NFL, he has expressed interest in playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. Quote, what NFL team do I want to play for? Let me think. Well, I got a few options anywhere that needs a quarterback, but this is where I'd like to go. The Las Vegas Raiders, so I can play with Max Crosby. With that attitude, Max Crosby might literally choke you out. I don't know. I mean, he does have some Raider-ish qualities, but Tom Brady's there. Nah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.